Amelia Hart had always believed in quiet love, the kind built on loyalty, trust, and shared dreams. At 30, 6 months pregnant, she walked toward the courthouse with trembling hands and swollen eyes, clutching divorce papers she never imagined she'd sign. The winter air stung her cheeks, but not nearly as much as the truth she'd uncovered just weeks before. Her husband, Victor, wealthy, polished, admired, had been unfaithful. And worse, he hadn't even tried to deny it. He'd simply shrugged, adjusted his silk tie, and said, "You're too emotional, Amelia. Maybe this is for the best." That sentence echoed in her mind as she climbed the courthouse stairs, every step a mixture of heartbreak and determination. She wasn't just walking away from a marriage, she was walking toward a future she would have to protect alone. She placed a hand over her stomach. "It's just you and me now," she whispered. What she didn't know was that someone else was watching. Someone who didn't want her to reach those doors. Someone who wanted her gone. A sharp voice cut through the cold. "Amelia." She turned, and froze. Standing a few steps above her, perfectly dressed in a crimson coat and stilettos, was Sabrina Lane. Victor's mistress. 26. Beautiful. Calculated. A smirk carved across her lips like she'd already won. "You should have stayed quiet," Sabrina purred, stepping closer. "Signed the papers, disappeared, and spared yourself the embarrassment." Amelia's throat tightened. "I'm not here for revenge. I just want peace." Sabrina's eyes glimmered with something darker. "Oh, darling, peace is the last thing you're going to get." Before Amelia could speak, Sabrina's hand shot out. A sudden, forceful shove struck Amelia's shoulder. Amelia gasped. Her balance slipped. Her vision spun. The world blurred. And then, she fell. Down hard, down fast, down the stone steps that seemed endless. She didn't scream. She couldn't. Her hands reached instinctively for her stomach, terror exploding through her as she hit the cold ground below. Then, darkness. When Amelia opened her eyes, she was lying in a hospital bed. The lights were soft, the room silent, except for one sound. Someone crying. A familiar voice. "Amelia, please wake up." She turned her head, pain radiating through her body, and saw him. Ethan Hart, her older brother. Tall, broad-shouldered, late 30s, a fiercely determined lawyer known for ripping apart corrupt CEOs and heartless corporations. But right now, he looked nothing like the confident attorney the world feared. His face was buried in his hands. His eyes were red. He looked broken. "Ethan," Amelia whispered. His head shot up. Relief crashed over his expression like a wave. "You're safe," he choked out, gripping her hand. "And the baby, Amelia, the baby is okay." Tears filled her eyes. Thank God. But then Ethan's expression hardened, like steel being forged in fire. "I saw the security footage," he said quietly. "I know what she did." Amelia's breath caught. "Sabrina, you're not fighting this alone anymore," Ethan vowed. "She won't get away with it." 2 days later, Victor appeared at the hospital. Not with flowers, not with regret, but with paperwork. "We need to wrap this up quickly," he said coldly. Ethan stepped between them. "She almost died," he snapped. Victor shrugged. "Accidents happen." "It wasn't an accident," Ethan shot back. "We have proof." Victor's jaw tightened. "You don't want to start a war you can't win, Hart." Ethan leaned in, eyes burning. "I don't start wars," he whispered. "I finish them." Victor left, but not before delivering one final threat. "If you go after Sabrina, you go after me. And I don't lose." But Ethan already knew something Victor didn't. He was about to. Ethan dove into the case with relentless focus. Witness statements, security footage, phone records, financial transfers. A web of lies began to unravel. Sabrina hadn't acted alone. Victor had funded her, encouraged her, protected her, and possibly planned far worse. Each discovery lit a deeper fire inside Ethan. He wasn't just fighting for justice. He was fighting for his sister's dignity. Her future. Her child. Amelia, recovering slowly, watched him from her hospital bed with a mix of gratitude and guilt. "This isn't your burden," she whispered. Ethan knelt beside her. "I promised Mom I'd always protect you," he said softly. "And I meant it." 3 weeks later, Amelia stood once more at the courthouse steps, this time supported by Ethan's steady arm. Crowds gathered. Reporters whispered. Victor and Sabrina stood at the top, smug and composed, until Ethan spoke. In the matter of assault with intent to harm a pregnant woman, he announced clearly, "We are moving forward with criminal charges." Sabrina's face drained of color. Victor stepped forward. "You can't prove." Ethan lifted his phone. Security footage played. The shove, the fall, the truth. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Sabrina stammered, "Victor, say something." But Victor stepped away from her. Hands raised. "Don't drag me into this," he said coldly. Amelia's heart lurched. He was abandoning her too. Just like he abandoned Amelia. Just like he always would. Sabrina's knees buckled as officers approached. Justice had begun. Weeks later, Sabrina was sentenced. Victor faced lawsuits, investigations, and public disgrace. His reputation collapsed faster than Amelia ever dreamed. But she didn't celebrate. She didn't need revenge. She needed healing. And she was finally free to find it. Months passed. Amelia gave birth to a healthy baby girl, Lila. Tiny fingers. Bright eyes. A future untainted by her father's cruelty. Ethan held the baby gently, tears softening his usually stern face. "You saved us," Amelia whispered. Ethan shook his head. "No," he murmured. "You saved yourself. You walked away. You chose life. You chose strength." Amelia smiled. Small at first, then wider, warmer, braver. She had walked those courthouse steps twice. Once broken, once reborn. And now she knew something she'd forgotten for far too long. She was never weak. She was never alone. She was worth fighting for. Message. Sometimes life pushes us down the stairs we never saw coming. Sometimes people we trust betray us in ways we can't comprehend. But strength doesn't come from never falling. It comes from rising. And from the people who stand beside us when we do. Justice isn't just a verdict. It's reclaiming your voice, your dignity, your future. And Amelia did exactly that. She didn't just survive, she overcame.